So I was originally going to do this as a quickie review, but I realized I had way too much to say and complain about, and way too much to say about the stuff I'm going to complain about to really classify as a quickie review. I'll still not try not to go on for too long, but as long as this will go, would not have classified as a quickie review. But you read the title, and it's no exaggeration. I genuinely hated the new Beetlejuice. But before I get into why, just a quick bit of history. I, like a lot of people, really liked the original Beetlejuice film. I'm not a diehard or anything. There are some people out there that it's their life. They love Beetlejuice to the max. I'm not one of those people. But it is a movie that I really enjoy, and it was a repeat in my childhood. And then the cartoon series was also something that I really liked. Beetlejuice is something that I enjoy. I enjoy Beetlejuice quite a bit. This new one, though, yeah, it was really rough. I wasn't that excited for this movie to begin with, so admittedly, I went into this with kind of a negative mindset anyway, but my expectation for it was that it was just going to be kind of lame. I did not expect it to be as bad as it actually was. It was baffling to me how much I just wanted it to be over for a very long time. Around the middle of the film, when it starts to get really meandering, I kept rolling my eyes. I kept wanting to check my phone for the time. I just wanted it to end, and it just wouldn't. Some positives first, though, okay? This movie is a really good-looking movie. There's a lot of it that is actually a lot of fun. The sets, these are actual sets. The makeup, the costumes, the practical effects, it's all done really good. This is a Tim Burton world through and through. But everything around it, the entire package is just really lame. The idea of a Beetlejuice sequel has been around for a long time, as long as since the mid-90s. And it feels like because it's been so long that a Beetlejuice sequel has been talked about, that so many ideas have been born from the conception of a Beetlejuice sequel, and they just kind of took all those ideas that they wanted and just put them all together in one narrative because they all loved each idea so much. It's like, well, we gotta put them all in there somehow. I feel like I can't really get into a lot of it without getting into spoilers, so for this entire video, there will be huge spoilers for Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. If you haven't seen the film yet and you want to avoid them, feel free to go see the movie first and then come back and watch the video, but I'm going to spoil the heck out of this movie because what I need to talk about, I can't without getting into it. First things first, like I mentioned, this movie has like 4, 5, 6 different stories going on, and it does nothing with any of them. They're all just over like that. So, you know, in the trailers, the zombie woman that you see, that seems as if she's going to be the big villain of the movie. Her name was Dolores, right? Don't expect anything, because she does absolutely nothing. She's introduced before Beetlejuice. She, kills some poor zombie guy, who's played by Danny DeVito. Kills this zombie janitor, cameo by Danny DeVito, and she asks, "Where's Beetlejuice?" And then it cuts away. Then when she comes back again after some story, she does the same thing again. She kills some guy and says, "Where's Beetlejuice?" Then after that, she doesn't show up again until the climax. She's just gone for most of the movie. It was all a build-up for nothing. And when she first comes about, they give her and Beetlejuice a backstory. Beetlejuice explains who she is. And the way it's done is really visually creative. It's actually pretty cool, but it amounts to nothing. I feel like this was the main thing that they wanted to do, but then there was 3 different other stories that they also wanted to do, so that kind of got in the way. But this story is really the least interesting one of them. So in between the scenes of Dolores showing up, there's a whole bunch of other stuff going on. And some of those things include Winona Ryder, Lydia Dietz, getting married to this dude, but then also having conflict with her daughter, played by Jenna Ortega. Now, look, I don't like Jenna Ortega in movies. I don't know. I find her really bland and kind of stiff. I don't see the appeal. I'll give her props. She was okay in this, but She plays such a tired character type. She plays an angry teen or rebellious teen or whatever you want to call it. When she first shows up, Lydia calls her because to tell her that the Jeffrey Jones character, her grandpa, has passed away, and her phone's ringing. She looks at her phone and it says alleged mom, and I just rolled my eyes because like, okay, if you have this character that has a purpose to like be angry with their parent, fine, I guess, but you don't have to go that far to make it just so cringe-inducing. That's ridiculous. To have it say alleged mom, we get it. She doesn't like her mom very much, but that's so sarcastic and just unlikable. I really didn't like her character in this at all. Aside from her character, though, everyone else is doing a pretty bang-up acting job. Michael Keaton, great as Beetlejuice. He's great as Beetlejuice in the first movie. He's great as Beetlejuice here. I just wish that they did something good with Beetlejuice. I wish they did something good in this movie at all, really. But yeah, so Lydia is a host on this TV show that she does because she can see ghosts, and she's made a fortune out of it, essentially. And her producer is like this sleazy dude that is trying to marry her for money, and he's really creepy and weird, and I don't think you needed this character at all. While this movie was going, I was making a better movie in my head. This movie does what a lot of movies have been doing lately that I hate so much, is that you take a character from the previous movie and you rip away any kind of lessons they could have learned or any kind of happy ending they could have had, and you just make them depressed and having problems in their family just to create conflict. And in my head, I was already making a better movie, because in this, they have it to where the husband she had has passed away. Jenna Ortega, of course, is hurt by that. Or it's her father. Then this weird guy's coming in trying to marry her mom. She's not feeling it. And in my head, I'm like, you didn't have to do this to create conflict. You could have kept the family dynamic together and made it to where Jenna Ortega's character gets into trouble, and they enlist the help of Beetlejuice to help with this problem, and he makes the deal that if he gets to marry Lydia, he'll help, and then that'll create conflict with, the dad character and Beetlejuice, and that would have been such a better movie. Speaking of the problem that the daughter gets into, that's where the movie gets interesting, but also where it falls flat on its face because of what it does with it. So another one of the 1 million plot threads in this movie is Jenna Ortega's character, Astrid, meets this boy in town that she just really vibes with, and he becomes her love interest in the film. And it takes a really dark turn really fast. Now, it doesn't happen until later on in the movie. This doesn't come about until later on in the movie, but they just do away with it so fast. But I perked up in my seat at this point. So this boy turns out to be a ghost that she can see. And it turned out that in the history of this town, what happened was he murdered his parents, and when he was getting arrested, fell out of his treehouse and broke his neck. And the souls of he and his parents are stuck there. Again, I perked up in my seat. I was like, okay, they're doing something here. But at this point in the movie, I was getting kind of bored with it. It was starting to lose me. But then it got me back again. I was like, oh, okay, let's see what they do with this. And just like with any other plot thread, they don't do anything with it. It's just done, just like that. It turns out that this boy doesn't care for Astrid at all. He needs to do this spell incantation thing where he trades her life for his so he can be alive again. And they enlist the help of Beetlejuice to help Astrid, of course, not die. And Beetlejuice just takes care of it. He wipes his hand away, and it's just done. That's it. That's what the plot of the movie should have been. That's exactly what they should have done for this movie. It should have been the only plot to this movie. Lydia Dietz has this daughter that doesn't believe in ghosts or anything. They get into some kind of argument. She runs out in town, meets this boy, and she really likes him. She's starting to kind of fall for him. She goes over to his house every once in a while, and invites her to over to a Halloween party, right? And then the plot starts. Oh no, he wants to trade her life for his. Oh no, what do? We gotta go to the model. We gotta get Beetlejuice, right? We gotta get Beetlejuice to help us. and Beetlejuice says, all right, I'll only help if I can marry Lydia, like I said earlier. And then that could have been the central plot of the movie, and they could have moved forward with that, and that would have been such an interesting plot for this sequel. I mean, they still would have had to have written it well, but I still think it would have been more interesting than what they did here, which was everything and also nothing all at once. So this movie also did a thing that a lot of these legacy sequels do, where it takes a comedy bit from the last one that people really liked, and then just does more of it in this one. Just, oh, people like that. They have a bunch of shrunken head people here, and they're like Beetlejuice's minions, employees or something. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. But they did a shrunken head person bit in the first one, and it was really memorable because Beetlejuice also got his head shrunk. So like, okay, then let's just give people more of that, and we'll make them just the mascots. I don't know. It was cute at best, but again, it was something else that the movie didn't need, and they just use it to drag on time. Yeah, I really didn't like this movie, man. I don't know. If you're a Beetlejuice diehard, Beetlejuice is your life or something, you absolutely just love the original film, or it's your favorite movie ever. There are some people that are truly in love with Beetlejuice, that original film. You like this fine. I don't know. The audience in my theater seemed to like it fine. There was a lot of laughs and people just getting into it. But for a lot of it, man, I just wanted it to be over. I just sat there just like, just dour, just looking at it like this. Just for a very long time. It was kind of turning into a miserable experience, honestly. But love him or hate him, those are my thoughts on Beetlejuice. And there's eventually going to be a third one because it's doing well. Let's just hope that one is just a lot more focused, because this one had no idea what it was doing. If you saw this movie, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. Let me know how you feel about the original Beetlejuice. Let me know what you think of the cartoon series. The whole thing is streaming now, so I gotta get on that, man. I'm really excited about that. But yeah, let me know what you thought. Let me know what your thoughts are gonna be going into it if you haven't seen it yet. Let's talk everything Tim Burton and Beetlejuice down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.